What's up, everybody? This is TrvAix, and I'm making a little video to go along with my written guide that I'm posting on the forums. This is a guide about how to gear an alt character when you've already done a lot of farming on T16 and higher on your main character. I use this method. First of all, it's mainly by upgrading rares. So you're going to need a lot of Death's Breath, a lot of Veiled Crystals, Arcane Dust, and Reusable Parts. I use this method to gear like 3 or 4 alts, and they're fully geared characters. So you're gonna. I did the challenge rift, so you're gonna need at least 15 of each bounty material. I would say at least 9,000 of every crafting material. It's better to have more of some so you can convert to the one that you need the most. I have almost 9k Death's Breath. I don't know. I'm not going to use that many, but we'll see. Okay, so starting off, let's say you've already been playing the season. This is like the second week of the season. You have all these materials saved up because you knew you're going to use it to gear an alt. So you might already have, like if someone dropped it or, you know, whatever, you might already have 2 set items. You might have a Ramalandi's Gift, a Compass Rose, and an Obsidian Ring of the Zodiac. You can get those on other characters, right? See, the Compass Rose is Strength. The Obsidian Ring of the Zodiac doesn't matter. But okay, so what I want to touch on is we have 2 of the same set item. One is ancient and pretty good stats, and one's not. Now I have 800 Death's Breath, so what you could do is gamble for more set items because the goal is to get a 6-piece set. First, I'm going to convert set item. It's a recipe in the cube. So convert set item. I'm going to keep the ancient one and convert the non-ancient, and this will give me an idea of where to spend my blood shards next. So transmute that. We got the pants. It's a pretty good roll. Yep, got the pants. So now we're gonna spend. We have 800 blood shards. You probably can't see it because my face is there. But gonna spend the blood shards on. Let's say we could do boots, maybe gloves. I'm feeling boots, so let's try boots. Got the Veer's boots right away. There we go. Now you have these extra yellow items, right? So you could salvage them. Salvaging a yellow item gives you 1 Veiled Crystal. We could make better use of that since, see, I have 10,000 Reusable Parts, almost 13,000 Arcane Dust, and only 9,000 Veiled Crystals, so I'm going to change the Arcane Dust into Veiled Crystals. And what this does, see, it takes 1 Death's Breath, 100 Veiled Arcane Dust. It takes 1 Death's Breath, 100 Arcane Dust, and 1 item of the rarity that you're trying to convert to. So take the yellow item, fill it up, puts the Arcane Dust and the DPs in there. Boom, we just went up 100 Veiled Crystals. Now, Reusable Parts are a lot easier to get if you just farm in Battlefields of Eternity, picking up weapon racks and stuff. So let's try Reusable Parts. Just convert that. Boom. I'll show you how to get. I'll show you what it looks like when you get an armor Battlefields of Eternity. So I'll switch to my Barbarian for reasons. It's on Torment 1. He's a Whirlwind Barbarian. And the reason I do Torment 1, you could do normal, but you're going to get the same amount of Reusable Parts no matter what setting it is. I do Torment 1, so in case I open a chest or something, it'll be a chance to drop the best items in the game. So go to Battlefields of Eternity. Yeah, Torment 1 and up, you can drop the good items. So I'm looking for a weapon rack or an armor rack. This is where I farm all of my Reusable Parts when I'm low. I don't actually get low too often, but this is just an example of why it might be best to convert Reusable Parts into Veiled Crystals instead of Arcane Dust. Let's see. that's not an armor rack. I'm getting very unlucky, and the funny thing is I'm doing this video all in one take because I don't have any video editing software. Okay, so decaying armor. Click on that, gives you Ascended Greaves. So you can stay on this map for like 5 minutes, reset, do it again for as long as you want. You have unlimited reusable parts that way. I'm not sure how many reusable parts you get for one item. So I have 10,045. Let's salvage that. 10,052. So it looks like you get 7 reusable parts. If you salvage a yellow item, you get 1 veiled. That's why it's a little bit better to convert the reusable parts into veiled crystals. But this is all just to make a point that, like, when you're gambling your shards on set items, you might as well convert the remaining yellows, you know? I mean, it's just because I might actually run out. I'd be very embarrassed if I run out. There's a high chance I'll run out with only 9,000. So I'm going to convert some of these. We'll do some reusable parts. And I'll do one more Arcane Dust, because why not? Okay. So, what I like to do is make a little character in my stash. So we got the shoulders, they go there. We got the pants and the boots. So I'm making a little character, you know. I already have a compass rose. I already have an obsidian ring of the zodiac. You know, you kind of build the character. Like the helm would go up here, the chest would go here, the gloves would go here. Just so it's easier for me to track what items I already have. So I'm going to gamble on... We got the boots. Let's go for the chest. Okay. Did not get the Veer's chest. So now, one thing I could do is convert these to veiled crystals. But one thing you're doing to upgrade rares, you're going to be crafting, like let's say I want to upgrade 10 chest pieces to try to get a Veer's chest. Chest armor here, you'd craft 10, but no, I just spent a bunch of shards. I already have 10 chest pieces in my inventory. So we'll go to upgrade rare, and hopefully we get the Veer's chest piece quickly. And I don't run out of mats making this guide, because that would be very embarrassing. Upgrade rare item. Got an Aquila Karas, that's worth something. Got a Cinder Coat. Ancient, nice. This is the wrong set. If you want, you can keep the extra set items that you get, because sometimes you'll make a 6 set bonus of the wrong set, and you could at least use that to unlock Torment 13 or maybe Torment 16 with the other set, and then eventually farm out the Veer set. You know, this guide, I'm just using Veers as an example. You can do this with any build. Any set in the whole game you can build by upgrading rares. Got the wrong set again. I am not getting lucky with this Veer's chest. Wow. Wow. Okay, I'm gonna save this Ancient Cinder Coat. Anything else worth saving? No, not really. And I'm just gonna be salvaging the set items that I don't need. But if you choose to keep those, that's perfectly fine. Okay. I've gotten every set for the wizard except for Veers. Wow. This is really unlucky. There we go. Got the Veers chest. Alright, and you know how I said you could build your character like in the stash? Like that? Well, we could actually build it on our character. Our actual character. Yeah. Okay, so I have one yellow item left. I'm going to go ahead and convert Arcane Dust. Boom. Alright, so what do we need? We got 1, 2, 3, 4. We got 4. Need the helmet and the gloves. So I'm just going to keep upgrading rares. But I'm going to take a sip of my beer as a little break. Alright, let's do helms. I usually do like 5 to 7 because you don't want to fill your whole inventory with yellow items when if you run out then you're just converting. I'd rather just not use them all. So you what you do is you craft 5 to 7 helmets. Just upgrade rares. Got the Veers helmet. Okay. Now I could convert those. Yeah, I think I'll convert the Arcane Dust. Just because I have only 8.6k reusable parts, 8.4k build crystals. I have so many more arcane crystals than everything else. It's yeah, so I'm gonna convert some of these. That's good for now. Alright. Oh, I equipped the wrong helmet. That's funny. Okay, let's go for the gloves. Do I have any? No, I don't have any blood shards left. So I'll go to gloves. Craft up some gloves. Gonna do 5 this time. I really hope I make this full build in this video. I'd be so embarrassed if I don't complete it. Those are somewhat decent gloves. Got the Veers gloves. This is going pretty well. Okay, so I already have the 6 set. Hey, that's good enough to go into like Torment 8, but I want to go higher than Torment 8, and I'm going to hold on to these St. Archie gauges just because they could be used on Bazooka Wizard. I might put them on my Wizard tab because there's more room there. Alright. Okay, so we could go a few different directions. We could go for the belt to get Fazulas. We could go for the wizard hats to get the Swami. Amulets to get the Traveler's Pledge. Bracers, you know, we have wizard bracers, the Ashen Guards. But I think the 6 set and the weapons are going to help the most. So, since the weapons for Veers, the Chantoto's weapons, are out of this world, tons of damage, 4,000 damage multiplier. So, yeah, let's make some wands. There's quite a few wands. You might not get lucky, but I do suggest getting it after getting the 6 set. It will be your biggest upgrade. Getting Chantoto's weapon and offhand, that'll be your biggest upgrade for sure. Aether Walker. Now I'm going to hold on to that. That could be a cube item. So since if you run out of materials, you don't need to have the furnace. Like, the furnace is good to have in the cube, but the Aether Walker, I definitely use that in speeds. So I'm going to hold on to that for the cube. Make some more wands. I gotta use the Aether Walker in my speed builds for T16 and greater of 90s and stuff. Did I just make a bunch of gloves? Wow, that was terrible. What a big mistake. Okay, I'm gonna have to convert those. Convert the Arcane Dust. I can't believe I made a mistake, but you know, people make mistakes. If you're following this guide, you might make a mistake. Someone in my clan just died. That's hilarious. Died on hardcore. Too bad for him. Wow, I'm getting really unlucky on this Chantoto's wand. Please give me a Chantoto's weapon. Please give me a Chantoto's weapon. Got it! Nice! Okay. Boom. Equip that. What are my stats looking like? I'm kind of running out of material, so this is not good. Now we definitely need the offhand, so I think source is under weapons. Yeah, it's under weapons, so let's make a few sources. Luckily, sources are a little easier to gamble than wands. There's so many wands in the game. Sources, I don't know how many sources. I'd guess 7 or something, 5 to 7. Upgrade rare item. Let's see that Chantoto source. Okay, etch sigil. That's used for some builds. You could set that aside to keep for later if you need it. Triumvirate, that's used in builds. You could hold on to that. I'll just show myself holding on to those. Why not? Let's get that Chantoto source. Wow, this is really... I am so unlucky. But you know, people following this guide, they won't be super lucky. Not everyone gets everything right away. Another triumvirate. Firebirds. Almost thought that was Chantoto's. Ancient. It's got high crit and area damage. Use that for the Frozen Orb build. Wow. Wow. So unlucky on the sources here. But, you know, once you get the sources, if you have the 6 set and the weapon and the source, you are good to go at least T13. That'll get you started so you can farm up the rest of the gear. You know, you can join groups and say, oh, I need a Traveler's Pledge. It's looking like, for the sake of the video, I'm going to run out of materials. I don't know if I'll be able to craft a Traveler's Pledge. I might just say, oh, I already had a Traveler's Pledge. Yeah! Chantos! Alright, we got it. But yeah, maybe do the Traveler's Pledge last, and we'll say we already had the Traveler's Pledge or whatever. So let's see, how many materials do I have left? Not that many. Okay, the Swami and Fazulus are going to be your biggest upgrades. The offhand that gives damage reduction is good. Traveler's Pledge is good. But I would say the Swami and Fazulus are going to be the biggest upgrade. So I'm going to go for... Make sure you make a wizard hat, not a helmet. A wizard hat to get the Swami. And that's going to be going in the cube. But that goes for all classes, like, you know, to get like the Bukathos swords, they're mighty weapons, or the Ignore Pain belts, Pride of Cassius, you know, that's a mighty belt. So, you know, I'm making wizard hats, not helmets. If it's a class-specific item, you're going to have to make sure that you're making the right item. We're going for the Swami here. The Swami gives a lot more Archon stacks. It's a big part of the build. So you're going to want to target the items that give you the most damage first, probably. Come on, Swami. Let's get that Swami. Got it. That's the Swami. So that's going in the cube. Throw that in here. Got this possible cube item here. So, you know, you don't really need the furnace. The furnace gives elite damage, but Aetherwalker gives you mobility when you're out of Archon. So, you know, you can make some changes based on what you're getting. I'm running really low on materials here. Okay, so we got the Swami. We need Fazulus, Traveler's Pledge, Karini, Ashigar's Blood Bracers. Let's see. Fazulus would be a huge upgrade. But I'm going to say Karini. The damage reduction item. It's 80% damage reduction. I think that's going to be the biggest upgrade. So I'm going to go for that. So to get rings, you craft up some rings at the Mystic. And luckily crafting these aren't going to use my veiled crystals at all. So that's nice. There's a lot of rings in the game, so this might be where the video ends. We'll see. Well, you know, since our Compass Rose doesn't have... Our Compass Rose has Strength, doesn't have Int. Throw the Puzzle Ring aside. We might get a better Compass Rose. There's one. So that one has Intelligence. That's one Reforge that we don't have to do. So, you know, Karini is... Oh, there. Got a Karini. It's ancient. It's a pretty good roll. Wow, that's a really good roll. I might take a different Karini. of my stash. So yeah, I'll take this Carini out to use in the cube. Definitely save the puzzle ring. I need to do a puzzle ring run here pretty soon. Let's equip this compass rose since it has intelligence. Throw this one into the ring pile. Now I'm trying to decide what would be the biggest upgrade, Traveler's Pledge or a Fazula. I think Fazula would be the biggest upgrade, to be honest. And for the sake of the video, we could just say, oh, we already had a Traveler's Pledge, or someone dropped one for us. All you gotta do is reforge it to get intelligence or something. So I'm gonna make some belts. And hopefully I get really lucky and get a Fazula's in the first 5. That would make the video a lot better. Fazula's and the Swami are pretty important for the build. The main reason I went for the Carini, it's 80% damage reduction. It's just so hard to give that up. I think it's worth sacrificing some damage to get the damage reduction. Gold wrap, that's worth holding on to for other builds. Throw that gold wrap into the junk pile. Come on, Fazulas. The Fazulas gives you a bunch of Archon stacks. Like the Swami lets you keep your stacks after Archon ends, so when you get back into Archon, you're double dipping, you're overlapping your stacks. Fazulas starts you off with 50 stacks when you first start Archon. So it's more stacks are more damage. It's like the main. Alright, we're starting to run low on materials here. Got a Fazulas. Very nice. And it's a 50 stack one. Very cool. Couldn't ask for anything better. Okay, so the last 2 items. What do we have for the cube? We got the Swami, Aetherwalker, Carini. You could also throw in a COE if you don't want to use Carini. I definitely recommend learning the build with Carini. It's 80% damage reduction. Highly recommend running Carini until like for example, I ran Carini up to 122 Greater Rift. It wasn't until I got to 123, 124 when I had to start using COE. I think Lexi U says you should switch over to COE at about 1500 Paragon, but if you don't have a Carini, you do have a COE and you want to gamble for other items, COE is totally fine. There's also the Halo of Elrees. I don't know if I have one here. Halo of Elrees gives a damage reduction bonus too. I think I have one in. Yeah, so you'd use Ice Armor for with the Halo of Elrees. You would use Storm Armor with Halo of Carini, and with COE you would use energy armor, because that's the best when you don't have an item buffing it. Alright, so I would say Traveler's Pledge is going to be a big upgrade, but I think that either getting the Ashnagar's Blood Bracers for damage reduction or Nemesis Bracers would be really nice for Torment 16 or greater of 90s. So I'm going to go for the Bracers first, since there's 2 items I could get, and then the last hurrah will be going for the Traveler's Pledge. Alright, got the Ashnagar's Blood Bracers. It's even 100%. That's just perfect. Alright, now remember, if you want to be able to jump right into T16 with this build, right after you do this, you gotta save some materials to enchant with. Now, you're not going to get perfect rolls because you just spent all your materials making the build, but you could get the basic enchants going. So I'm not going to spend all my materials trying to get a Traveler's Pledge. There's a certain point where I'll give up. So I'm going to make an you could just use any amulet. Anyway, so let's make some amulets. Let's make 7 amulets and upgrade those. This is going to be a hard one. There's like 20 amulets possible, so we'd have to get pretty lucky to get a Traveler's Pledge here. Got one! Very nice. Very nice. Alright, that wasn't so bad, was it? Alright, so remember at the beginning of the video I was saying you're going to want 15 of every bounty mat, so that's, you know, doing the challenge rift or doing 1 round of Torment 13 or higher bounties. I think if you do T16 bounties you get 22, so we're going to do 15. So the things to spend your bounty materials on would be extracting rares and reforging. So we have 15, that would be 3 reforges, but it takes 1 of every material to extract an item in the cube, so we need at least 3 for the cube. So that means you only have enough for 2 reforges. I don't really need to reforge anything. Let's see, this is actually pretty bad. Gloves, see if I need to reforge anything. I mean, the amulet, I'll probably keep the crit and cooldown, you know, roll off the arcane. Do I need to reforge anything? That armor, that's pretty good. Weapon's pretty good. Alright, so we're gonna cube. We could go for the furnace, but since I don't have that many materials, I'm not gonna go for the furnace. I'm gonna put this COE back where it was. Alright. So reforging, these gloves are bad. Don't want the attack speed, don't want the armor. Let's do a reforge. Let's see what we get. Reforging is not just to get ancients, you know. Reforging is not just to get ancients. So let's reforge this. That is not any better, it's actually probably worse. We can do 2 reforges though, so let's do 1 more. Ancient! Ancient! There we go! And I would keep, attack speed is not the best stat for Fears. It's good, like, you can get quadfecta. The last stat, the 4th stat you need would be attack speed, but Vit is better. I would roll CDR, attack speed to CDR on those. Let's extract these, even though I don't need to. We'll extract that. Don't need... Oh, it's already been extracted, so it's not going to let me. But we would use 3 bounty materials to extract the Karini, the Swami, and the Aetherwalker. So I'll just switch to those now. Aetherwalker. Let's get the Swami. and Halo of Carini. So if you see in my build, I've got Storm Armor, Power of the Storm, reduces resource cost for your attacks. We're using Arcane Torrent because it has the best proc coefficients. Yeah. Alright, so the next part of the video, and basically the last part of the video, is going to be showing how to get the base enchants on your gear. What do I mean by the base enchants? Like, let's say we roll this glove, right? Cooldown 6%, right? The max amount of cooldown is 8. So some people might, or you might, keep rolling this item to get 8%, then move on to the next one. Well, you know, we just use all our materials. What I highly recommend is getting the base enchant, getting the stat that you want on every item. Like, you know, get sockets on the rings, get, you know, all your stats that you need, even if they're low values, you get those stats on there first. And in a cooldown build like Condemned Crusader or Veer's Archon Wizard, you're going to want to prioritize cooldown. Like int, vit, crit, cooldown. Now, the ideal gloves would be int, crit, cooldown. Some people might say, I'll do int, vit, crit, and hope to get the cooldown gloves later. No, you need the cooldown. It's required for the build. So go for the cooldown first. Probably going to enchant this shoulder. Go for the cooldown. And when I say get the base enchants, I don't mean go, you know, I could stay at the life. No, I'm going to go for cooldown for sure. Let's see that cooldown pop. There we go, 5%. One tip for rolling your weapon, just to take away the odds of getting a bad stat, I'm going to gift it before I roll it. So the best stats for Chantotos is int, attack speed, cooldown. So I'm going to roll the vitality into cooldown. And weapons can actually go up to 10% cooldown. %. So like if you get 6%, you could say, oh, 6 to 8% is not a big upgrade, but no, on the weapon it actually goes up to 10% cooldown. Let's go for sockets on the gear. Now, if you do your research about Veer's Chantotos, what you need to know is the highest elements that you have on your gear is going to be what your Veer's damage is doing. So if I have Arcane on the amulet, I'm doing Arcane damage, and it's been tested. The best element for Veer's Chantotos is cold, so we don't want any Arcane. So I'm going to keep the crit and the cooldown and roll off the Arcane into a socket. Take the cold for now. It's actually not going to be super easy to roll a socket on this item just because of the bad stats on it. Got a socket. Gonna go for a socket on the Compass Rose. Cooldown would be the best stat on here. Even though life regen is not that great, you always roll off the movement speed on the Compass Rose. That's kind of what you do, because you can always get movement speed on your boots or on Paragon. There is a cap to movement speed, and the cap is 25%, unless you have like some kind of other boost from items or abilities. So Obsidian Red Zodiac, attack speed, crit chance, cooldown, resource cost. Gonna change the resource cost into a socket. Okay, we got our 3 socket, that's the main thing. Put the gems in. Dun, dun, dun. I always like to put my Bane of the Trapped up in the amulet. I don't know why. So we're gonna want cold on a piece of gear to make our element cold. So let's roll these gloves. There, we got cold. Or they're not gloves, bracers. Sorry. So what is going to be the biggest upgrade? We could say cooldown on the offhand would be the biggest upgrade. You know, rolling crit chance on the helmet might be a big upgrade. I would say cooldown is the most important. So, gonna change. Oh, you definitely want to keep the arcane power on crit. Grants critical hits grant 3 arcane power. You need that on your offhand. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to get back into Archon with Obsidian Ring of the Zodiac because this build does not have a generator. So definitely do your research on which stats are important to the build or required for the build, you know. So next, I'm going to go for crit chance. Got the crit chance. And like I said, we're going for the base rolls. 4.5% on that. So this, going to want armor, 15% life, or reduced damage from elites, whichever we get first. I think on my main Veer's Wizard I have reduced damage from elites, mostly because that's a rare enchant to get and I'm a show off. So let's see what else we could do. Get some armor on these pants. Armor is really important. Here we go. Now on the boots, helmet, and shoulders, and chest, you don't need any skill damage. Like Wave of Force damage is not going to do anything. Arcane Torrent damage, that's such a little. We use Arcane Torrent, but it's just to get Chantota stacks and proc Obsidian Ring of the Zodiac. So you don't need Arcane Torrent damage. This build uses no skill damage on the gear. So I guess I would go for Vitality here. Boom. Now, since I have 10% movement speed, this is pretty basic, but since I have 10% movement speed, I'd go into Paragon. You definitely want max arcane power for this build. 25% minus 10% is 15, so make up that extra movement speed. Put a little bit into Vitality, the rest into Intelligence. Okay, what else do I need to roll? Let's do the belts. Does the belt really need anything? We got Int, Vit, All Resist, and Life. See, if that was Int, Vit, Armor, Life, I would roll the Life after each kill into Physical Resist to get a little more damage reduction. But see, since we have All Resist, you can't roll Physical Resist. You can only have a single resist on the secondary or All Resist on the item. So this, just to save materials, well, I might just leave it alone for now. We could get gold and health pickup. Yeah, that'd be nice. We could roll the all resistant armor. That might be nice. Yeah, let's do that. Let's roll the all resistant armor. Why not? That would be an upgrade. Alright, so now that we've enchanted every item, let's go for higher rolls. So I usually go, this is 5%, that's the lowest roll, so go for your biggest upgrade next, you know. Try to get this to 8%. I would say definitely go for your biggest upgrade first. Let's get another cooldown roll. Okay, you know what? I'm giving up on that. I don't want to waste all my materials. And most people watching this video probably just ran out of materials. So let's grab some gems. Boom, 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 boom. Let's get that green gem in there. Boom. We want the cooldown reduction thing. Cooldown reduction gem in the helmet. Okay, so we got all of our stuff. So you're using Karini. Make sure you're running storm armor, you know, stuff like that. Audacity is good because it's basically a melee wizard. Evocation reduces cooldown even more. Galvanizing ward, that works really well with Ashtar's blood bracers. Unstable anomaly, that's cheat death. So let's see how this build does in Torment 16. You just saw me craft it from nothing. This character was literally naked when I started this video. Let's try Torment 16. See how it goes. We got Aether Walker, so we're moving. I like to get stacks at the beginning of the rift. Chantoto stacks, you know, at the beginning of the rift. Just to boost my damage, you know, buff up my damage, boost my damage. We don't have Nemesis. Nemesis is usually what I run in T16, but you definitely might need a little bit more gear or Paragon to run Nems, as the build can be pretty squishy without Ashngar's blood bracers. As you can see, I'm pretty strong right out of the gate. Has a couple ancients, not even an ancient weapon. You know, the stats are terrible. It's only like 1 million damage. Yeah, it's up to 2 million. That's because I have a bunch of stacks. I have a bunch of Archon stacks, but yeah, so, you know, I'll play this a little bit more. I'd call this video a success. It might have ran a little long. I really don't know how long that video was. Was it like half an hour long? That's embarrassing. I bet no one watched it. But if you did watch this video, thanks. Thanks for being a good friend, I guess. You know? Alright, I'm going to go back to town. I usually pop Archon and make the slow time bubble go, so little arrows can't hit me, and in Archon you can't be interrupted when you're going back to town. Yeah. I'm gonna wait for the Archon. Oh, it's gonna be a while for the Archon stacks to run out, but I just want to show, after you saw me play the game, show just how bad the stats really are on this character and how it's still able to do T16. You don't need perfect rolls. And once you find more materials, you could go and get those perfect rolls. So it's 1 million damage. The cooldown is... what's the cooldown? 59%, so that's actually pretty good. I could definitely have a lot more cooldown too. So, like, you know, you have 59, maybe go crit hit damage on the gloves if you have a lot of cooldown like me. But cooldown never hurts. See, like, you know, we could have... I think part of the reason we have too much cooldown is because this amulet has cooldown on it. That should be crit hit chance. You know, like, this Compass Rose is terrible. The only good stat is cooldown. There's no crit on it. It's just awful. That weapon's actually pretty good for a non-ancient. And now I could do something that would make everyone mad. Just totally make people mad for the end of the video. Like, how could I make the most people watching my video mad right now? Boom, 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 boom. Rip. Rip. Yeah, I already have a fully geared Veer's wizard. So I'm not too worried about that. Rip. So yeah, if you guys watch this video, thanks a lot. I think you could go to the beginning of the video and see how many materials I had then. I think I had like 12k Arcane Dust and like 9k veiled crystals and reusable parts. So that's how much I have left. I have 2.5k veiled crystals left, 5k Arcane Dust left. Yeah, like I said, I use this method to gear like 4 or 5 different characters. Like, I used it to gear Rapid to unlock T16. Brathma's freaking terrible. A Lawn Mage is way better. But it did the trick to unlock T16. I use this to gear my 22 pickup radius Z-Barb for rat runs. I think I used it to gear my Demon Hunter. My, yeah. Got all my gear back on. See, don't worry. I have... Like, this is what I was saying with attack speed. Attack speed would be the 4th stat. Like, on these gloves, you, like, if you didn't have the attack speed there, it would be int crit cooldown. Since I'm a decently high Paragon, I'm like 1700 plus, I was able to roll off the int to get the attack speed. I actually literally rolled off the int to get cooldown, but the 4th stat you'd want to replace int with would be attack speed. It's still not exactly the best stat. Int might be slightly better. I personally like to show off the gear that I have. If I got a really good quad-affected gloves, I'm going to use them just because no one else has them. I think these are the best gloves in North America. Anyway, oh wow, my gems didn't get saved. Ooh, that's bad. Where are my gems? Don't want to go into the next rift without the gems. That would be terrible. Did I? Yeah, I think we're good. Oh, weird. Yeah, the gems aren't saving in my gear for some reason. I don't know why. Okay, and we're good again. We are good. Okay, thanks for watching, everybody. This is the end of the super longest ultra video about upgrading rares! If you just read the written guide, you were probably smart, but this video was just to show it can be done in one sitting. You can make a whole character. You don't have to just spend a whole week gambling blood shards on your alt character, making people, your clan mates, your party mates, leaving public games just to gamble. You don't have to make people wait for you to gamble on your alt character. Blood shards take a very long time to gear a whole character. This is definitely the fastest if you have the materials. I really hope I helped someone. If I just helped one person be able to gear a character efficiently like this, then the video was a success. Yeah. Alright, I better end this. I'm rambling. I'm going to enjoy the rest of my day. It's 4th of July weekend. Maybe have a few beers, maybe kick back, play a little Diablo, maybe play a little Nintendo Switch. Anyway, talk to you later. See ya. This is TrvAix. Have a nice one, everybody.